And they should be off here. There they go.
Okay, so what on earth to do with a card like this?
I haven't looked at it yet. I've had it revealed for a few minutes, but still haven't looked at it.
I will say there are no good goals around the perimeter, I think. Possibly see Dream Builder as a first goal, but Soul Master also a choice, but a lot of these goals are kinda late in terms of item requirements or just how long it takes to get the goal.
Okay, taking my first look. Soul Master is probably the easiest one I see. Corner for locations is easy. Wow. We might not see a goal for a long time.
Yeah, I think there's one goal in each starting line, which is attainable. Isma and Dream Wielder could both be very fast, depending on what the seed gives us. And, you know, sometimes too, you know, you'll get one of those situations where two paired charms show up in a shop, and you have the option of just buying both of them and starting with that line. So I definitely think both runners are going to be on the lookout for row 1.
Yeah,
to see
I think if
how,
you find
how bad that is.
I think if you find the top 2 random charm couplets there somewhat early, that row becomes really good.
Exactly. Like all 5 of the goals, excluding randomization, are really fast. The second line isn't terrible. Well, I say that Monomon, Collector, and Markov all have
2 of them aren't terrible.
Okay, there is exactly one good goal in row 2, and that's kill 2 Soul Warriors. So other goals are all awful. So you're definitely taking a gamble with walking into row 1, but on the other hand, what are the odds really that Isma and Shade Cloak and Crystal Heart and Dream Nail are all buried? Like, really?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the other part of it too is that you have to like there's still 4 charms to find, or 4 items to find. So if there's one of them that's buried, you're still screwed.
Yeah. So yeah, row 1, kind of risky. You basically get those 5 goals to yourself in row 1 because your opponent isn't getting through row 2 either, but you could really get screwed. I can't imagine anyone would want to lock into column 1, because column 2 has a lot of the same problems as row 2.
And there's not much good in column 1 anyway.
Exactly. Like Colosseum Zote, Marmu are both very long. Yeah, I just can't see choosing that even if Ismas were to show up like really early. That'd be so risky. Like, column 5 isn't necessarily bad. It's a bit randomization dependent because, like, obviously you need Dream Nail for Markov and Lurian.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 3 charms. But,
column 5 actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, you have a very fast goal in corner for locations. And then after that, like, column 4... Well, column 4 is kind of heavy on randomization, but depending on the kind of seed we get, you could move really quickly through that. Like, Stagnast Vessel Fragment can be very attainable in a class seed, if Wings shows up.
Plus, the bottom 2 are really good too. So, I mean, row 4 and 5 of that column, Crystal Heart and Queen's Garden grubs, have, I mean, obvious synergy because you need Crystal Heart to get the bottom one.
Or the top one, rather. But, yeah, so, I meant the top grub, rather. I think you meant the bottom goal. But, yeah, the difficulty in that is that, like, if you lock into column 5 and it's a late claw seed, you're just screwed. Because you're not getting Lurian, you're not getting 3 grubs, you're not getting Stagnus. you're in a really painful spot, I think. And then there's row 5, which is just honestly the worst.
Is it worse than column 1, you think?
I think it is. It reminds me a lot of the line I ended up with against you, where you have the 3 Dreamnail goals and then a Crystal Heart blocked goal. It's a very, very risky kind of starting position, because if you don't find Dreamnail, you can't make any progress.
That's one of those hit or miss ones, right? Like, it could be really good or really bad.
Like, we could find Dreamnail, you know, in Crossroads right here, and then 0 is suddenly the fastest goal on the board. And you chain that into Dream Trees, and actually row 4.
Row 4 is really good, actually. I wouldn't mind that at all.
I think row 4 is the best second line. Once again, assuming that you find Dreamnail.
Exactly. But I mean, you've got Isma's, Crystal Heart, and Lurian. 3 really easy goals. Plus, you know, if you do find Dreamnail to exit row 5, the Dream Trees is free, essentially. You just have to do it. And there's Cloak.
Right, Cloak. Interesting. Muri opted to skip False Knight, or is doing shops first, rather. So, advantage to Sean. He won't have to do the Shade skip here. Not to mention he'll have Cloak for, like, you know, who knows how much longer.
Is he going straight to Fungal?
I think he's definitely doing a Leg Eater check. We'll see whether he goes further.
Nothing at Salubra. Absolutely nothing. Not even anything remotely useful either, which is... Usually you'll find something that you could maybe buy later or whatever, but...
Yeah, like, shops are guaranteed to have a sort of good item, but... Yeah, that... Some of the good items can be really ability contingent and end up just being terrible. So, there's Lifeblood Heart, already found.
No progression, though.
No. 4 items at Leg Eater, none of which are too terribly remarkable. You're definitely not going to be buying Unbreakable Strength without checking the 3 other shops first.
I kind of like this play from Sean, though, to just take the initiative after finding progression and go right to Fungal. I mean, not checking any of the shops with Dash is a little bit strange, but
I mean, you know, keep in mind that every item location.
There's Claw.
Oh, and Claw at Sly. That's gonna be really rough. Well, not really rough. That could be slightly annoying for Sean, since he's got to do all these fungal checks and not be able to finish off with Mantis Lords. It's probably not awful. Like, Mothwing Cloak is much better at this point in time than Mantis Claw.
One thing to note, though, is that Muri, after going False Knight, will be able to check Soul Catcher in the same trip for basically no time. Sean will have to backtrack there and lose about a minute.
Yeah, honestly, the backtrack, which Sean may opt to do, will end up equalizing their positions. That'll neutralize the dash advantage, I think.
Muri choosing to go False Knight, so he's going to get Cloak here pretty soon.
Yep, this is good for him. But what I was going to say before, with respect to Sean's decision to rush Fungal, all of these item locations opened up by Dash are twice as likely to get picked as the starting locations are for item placements. So it definitely makes sense to bail on your starting items once you find that there's a bit of progression. Though it's still a bit of a gamble. And it looks like Sean is going to open up the stag station. No, never mind.
Just the shortcut.
Just a shortcut. He definitely looked like he was considering it for a moment.
Would have been some interesting routing, excuse me, to
fungal
get the station, then go back to Dirtmouth.
Fungal waste is really hard to route in a clean manner. And actually Sean is about to do something really bad here, if he doesn't back out of it. If he can back out of it at this point, he's going to softlock at Mantis Claw and Orphan Dashmaster.
Yeah, he can't back out now.
I think maybe there's
he could
Mantis
pogo one of the
Fogo.
youths on the right, yeah.
That would be a pretty awkward setup, though. Like, look at how high that is.
Yeah, he's remembering it, but this is...
This is too little too late. He can still do it with 2 hits, I think.
Definitely a mistake, though, on his part to get... Yeah, he can't get it now.
Yeah, but Explosion Pogo, generally something to be avoided unless you're in a real minimum items kind of seed where you actually can't enter the room.
Second cloak.
From the right. Shade Cloak. Interesting. I don't think there's many situations where that'll be important for this card. Obviously, that opens Sharp Shadow down the line. And it also could be useful for getting to Marmot without Crystal Heart or his Mystere. Aside from that, not super useful.
Unfortunate that Sean save quitting back to the mound, still not able to check that location.
Yeah, Balders cannot be dashed through, even with Shade Cloak. They are walls in the game's code. So it's a little funny, we have an almost sync from our runners.
Muri in a bit of a better position here. That fungal play from Sean, I almost want to say it was a waste of time to go that deep into fungal and only get one of those items. I mean...
I would definitely agree with that. Fungal is a very time-consuming play because of how the area loops around on itself. And he didn't get the stag station, which is maybe the worst of the outcomes because it's going to be almost as long to get back there. Like, probably his best bet is to come in through Green Path, but like that's 15 minutes away,
right
at the moment. I guess Muri is checking resting grounds via the Shadescape now. That makes sense.
Definitely a free shade skip, having dash and claw.
Yep, this is the most standard setup for the shade skip you'll see in speedruns. So Muri definitely very comfortable with it. And it'll be nice to have this open in the event of dive being very late in this seed. He'll still be able to get to City of Tears fairly easily. But I definitely like doing a resting grounds check in this position before deciding what row you're going to pick. Not because the 2 items you can get in resting grounds are terribly likely to be any good at this point, having found Dash and Claw already, but because the 2 items you can't get could be really important. Like if we find Joni's Blessing and Spell Twister here, then that top right corner becomes toxic.
Sometimes you're not afforded that luxury to be able to check these before picking a side, but in this case, since a lot of these goals are longer term goals, you definitely want to know what's here before you pick a side. Right.
Interesting to note that independently, our runners have found Shaman Stone's Lifeboat Heart already. Um, so those two randomized goals could be fairly fast.
Sean gonna find Claw here.
Yep.
Be mad at himself for going all the way to fungal.
Yeah, would have had a much more efficient fungal check if you had that beforehand.
Just Geo at Dreamnail.
And let's see, Weaver Song.
Wow,
Dreamgate.
Vanilla Dreamgate.
That's annoying, isn't it? Only one Dreamnail available. And that's the progression Dreamnail, which means that it's going to be really deep in logic normally.
That's probably the worst thing to see is Dreamnail as one of those two goals or one of those two items because yeah, I mean you cut your chances in half of finding the other one and it could be anywhere.
Right. And you really don't want to end up in a position where we're talking about Abyss Dreamnail, a Great Slash Dreamnail, something like that, and you're lock into row 5, you're toast.
Pretty much, yeah. You would need to find Dream Wielder at that point to even have a prayer.
Yeah, and even then, like, you would have to really hope for your opponent to gate themselves in row 2. Interesting.
That's
Muri.
Wow.
Spending a fortune on Quick Slash. That's a bit hard for me to...
That's not something you see normally in these races.
Quick Slash is certainly a good charm. It used to be a lot better when it was only 2 notches. I don't think I would ever spend 500 Geo on Quick Slash.
No, especially not for a convenience like this. It looks like he bought it for use in Joni's Darkroom, but man, that's an expensive convenience.
I would think, and obviously we don't have access to it, but I would think range would be a lot better than nail speed.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know.
But
not to mention that
with either you can kind of just spam your nail and you'll be fine with the pogos in that room.
I kind of like the irony too that by spending such a fortune on Quick Slash to help with the Darkroom, you kind of lock yourself out of Lantern, or at least for the near future. But I do really like this Howling Cliffs play, especially if it continues into Green Path.
Well, you gotta rush checking Thorns, right?
I think Thorns is pretty... No, I think Thorns is pretty powerful in this situation with Mothwing Cloak progression that we haven't really used yet, right?
The Rando loves putting things at Thorns. I don't understand it, but this build of Rando just puts everything there. It's actually incredible.
The thing you have to keep in mind with it is that, we don't know the order in which Rando placed items, but
either put Claw first.
Right, either Claw was first or Dash was first. But if we assume that Dash was placed second, then I'm pretty sure that Thorns is going to be entered 3 times into the randomization pool for the next progression item. Based off of my very rudimentary understanding of how the code works. So that means Thorns is 3 times as likely as any of our starting locations of getting a progression item. Which is obviously really, really powerful. And a good reason to rush Green Path and particularly to rush Thorns over the other 2 items.
He's not even checking Joni's Blessing at all. Just going right past it.
Not a bad idea if you're not comfortable with it, obviously.
But then why get Quick Slash?
Yeah, that is the real question. It's gonna have a fast Hornet fight, a fast Pendula King fight. All those difficult Green Path bosses you really shudder to think about.
If you're a speedrunner, do you think Quick Slash really helps all that much?
Not really. Honestly, I know a fair number of Hundo runners say it throws them off more than anything else. I've never run a category which collects Quick Slash, so I would just mash and pray if I ever tried to use it in Rando. Oh no, Muri struggling with Venge Flanking.
This is really awkward without any spells or anything. You just have to kind of wait for him.
It's true. The best thing to do is to lure him down lower.
Exactly. You stand on this platform to the right down here, and you can upslash him for free.
You can wail on him if you just bring him down low enough. And he only takes 11 million. He's really frail.
There's no Zote goal on this board, right?
There is a Coliseum.
There is a Coliseum Zote. Okay, on the left. Right here.
Yep. Already accessible.
There we go. That's the play.
Spend 4,000 geo. Not worth going for. Coliseum Zote. That's the one. Alright, let's watch this Quick Slash one fight. I want to see the strats.
He's not even using the Quick Slash rhythm. He's just using normal slash rhythm.
Yeah, he's not mashing at all. Up, and Sean buys 500 geo Lifeblood Heart on his second fungal trip.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't like that without knowing where Jonies is.
I understand the thought process, but like 500 is too much for that. If it's less than 200, I think you buy it, but
yeah, it's because you're saving like maybe around a minute backtrack from Queen Station. You think that's about accurate? Maybe a little more.
Leg Eater?
Yeah.
I don't even know that I would go from Queen Station to Leg Eater. I might come from Crossroads.
Yeah, the three stags are all kind of equidistant.
But yeah,
I think
about a minute, I think is right.
You have the least number of transitions from fungal, but it's also more vertically oriented, or going up rather. It's a bit slower. But yeah, you're not saving a lot of time for your geo spend, which is how you have to ration things out. Also, like, when you spend 500 geo on half of a goal like that, you really gotta commit to making sure that pays out for you. Like, if Sean ends up getting locked into bottom or left side, then that's just gone forever.
True. Then that's just money spent on nothing. Looks like Sean is going back, maybe to see Mantis Lords and finish out Fungal.
Dashmaster. Could also do Spore Shroom into Deep Nest. You know, it's an option. They can check 3 out of... No, not 3. Yeah, they can check Sharp Shadow and Weaver Song right now. Still probably will avoid that until you can check the third item, but always an option. Yeah, I think that there's a really strong argument to be made for rushing Soulmaster at this point. Rushing 4,000 Geo. Usually really easy to get that if you buy a Lantern and a Simple Key. After a Lem trip. Ooh, and Wraiths. Useful for column 2.
Useful, but no real progression.
Yeah, it opens up Abyss. Yay.
I miss the days of the Abyss meta.
I feel like Abyss could be good. It could. But 2 items isn't enough. Especially after Geochests were added into the randomization.
Yeah, I think that really killed it.
Yeah, that diluted its value. Of course, part of the problem is that...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, part of the problem is Abyss has 4 charms, only 2 of which are... Or 4 locations, only 2 of which are randomized. We're still waiting for our Lifeblood Core and Void Heart.
Yeah, good luck
Waiting
with that.
forever, probably. I mean, how could you even put Void Heart into logic? Kills all the shade skips.
You could maybe do it with a glitched logic or something.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Allowing
White
out of
Palace
bounds in the logic and things like that.
Yeah. Actually, in like a room rando, the White Palace shard is fairly low item requirements. But in this, obviously, it's atrocious. It requires every skill. So not likely to ever happen. But yeah, for just the two items, both of which have fairly high requirements, you need Wraiths for Abyss Shriek and either Shade Cloak or Claw for Shade Cloak. It's really hard to find a situation where Abyss is convenient.
I just remember in older builds of the randomizer, the items were more heavily weighted towards the Abyss, so good items tended to be there more often than they are now for sure. But yeah, since the rando has been updated a couple times, it is no longer even close to meta to go to Abyss anymore.
Yep. I think the best case for Abyss and random bingo like this is like when you need to find a progression item and you need to check somewhere your opponent hasn't. Like it's a anti-meta play in that sense.
on the one off chance that it got put there.
Yeah. Well,
it would give you a win almost, almost guaranteed.
Again, yeah. Again, though, like Abyss does get pretty favored by the waiting to put items in late game spots with high item requirements. It's just there's only 2 spots, so that sort of cancels it out.
You could tie in the wings check in there as well, but
actually isn't terribly good synergy though.
No, it's
wings
not.
Wings is so slow on its own. I think the best thing is like if you're doing like a general tram line check, so like you do all your deep nest stuff, all of your basin stuff in the Hive Blood last. Hive Blood and Isthmus Tier.
That would completely cover your bases in terms of checks your opponent's probably never gonna do.
Yeah, the tram visits all of the anti-meta locations. A lot of logically favored locations. It's just hard to strike gold on all of them. It really is. Anyways, speaking of checks your opponent doesn't always make, we have Muri going into raids. This is one of those kind of awkward ones. It's fairly slow. And not very favored by logic at all.
I still like this check. Like, personally and in Muri's position. It's much faster with Claw. Obviously, because you don't have to wait for that Chia Pet, but
yeah.
I don't know. I personally like doing this check.
Yeah, I think definitely the 2 big prerequisites I would want to have to do it normally, at least, is a good spell and Gathering Swarm. You can
you and your Gathering Swarm.
No, there are only 2 checks where I would consider Gathering Swarm for, and it's Wraiths and Glowing Womb. You can make a decent profit off of the 2 of them. Because you ordinarily can't collect the Geo due to spikes. Like, as just an item check, it's very mediocre. You know, it has the standard Claw or Wings logic, so it's not more likely to have progression, and it's slow and out of the way. It doesn't chain into other things.
I would love to see the next progression item be at Glowing Womb right now. It's reachable.
We do have Wraiths, yeah. At this point, I think that it's almost impossible for that spike tunnel to be forced, but you never know. It'd be cool to have, like, you know, Crystal Heart there and then wings at one of the Crystal Heart block locations, like Monarch Wings or Deep Focus. That way you actually force the spike tunnel.
That'd be about the only combo that would require that.
Yeah, there's that. There's also the up, and we have locked into columns.
First goal.
Probably good. We do know that we have Shade Cloak, so Markoth will be accessible as soon as we have Dreammail. And Claws, so same for Lurian. That being said, Sean still doesn't have an obvious path to his next column 4 goal. So we'll really just have to wait and see on that. Muri, at this point, basically has to rush 4,000 Geo. You can't do anything else.
Coliseum's out, man.
Oh. Well, there's one other thing you can do.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it takes Muri to get over there. But finding Ismos also puts Collector into play. And actually, well, I think Sean forgot that he didn't have Dive, which is why I just saved quit, but not be a bad idea at all for him to get the 800 Geo and go back there. Collector, a difficult goal, but his most viable column 4 goal at this point. I think maybe you get nail 1 first.
I don't think you put any of your eggs in the collector basket here. I think you search for progression.
You search for Wings or Crystal Heart?
I would, personally. I mean, if getting to the... It's one of those really tough decisions here, because getting to the middle of the board is of extreme importance always. But when your only gateway is Collector, like, that's way too much of a time investment, I think, to be worth it.
Maybe a compromise could be, like, you check Soul Sanctum, then go for Collector, hoping to get the Collector and the Soulmaster snipe, and also maybe find something in Soul Sanctum to speed you up.
Maybe.
Because definitely, like, the whole idea of going for an early Collector play would be to mark something in column 3. The best goal in column 3 by far, at the moment, is Soulmaster.
I'd go for 2 Soul Warriors, I think, over that. I'd go Crystal Peak here first, get the key, check the key, and then do Soul Warriors, and include the Shade Soul check in that as well.
But the thing about that is that you're leaving Soulmaster in reserve for eternity, if you do that. I think. Like, I think that it's easier to do Soul Sanctum and then just open city storerooms and give yourself the option of coming back whenever you want to.
Yeah, maybe.
It's partly preference, I guess. But yeah, I think that, definitely think that that is what Sean is indicating at the moment. At the very least, we're gonna see LM play.
He's actually using
As we see the shape of Hun. Never let anyone tell you Sean isn't a speedrunner. He may not be a Hollow Knight speedrunner, but he is a speedrunner.
This sentry kill is gonna take him a year.
Yeah, with just Claw. Yeah, really wishing that he had bought that Unbreakable Strength instead of Lifeblood Heart right now. This Joni's Blessing could not be, you know, any more far away at the moment. Who knows where it is?
You know, one play that I would like to see be more meta, I think, would be nail upgrades. Because, like, there's a lot of times when you're running around wishing you had spells for damage and that sort of thing, but nail upgrades are completely within your control to get. To speed up everything.
In this case, where we have no spells early on and no reason to expect to find spells, being that we have this Claw plus Dash start, which really doesn't need Fireball skips and logic anyways, like, think that there's a really good argument to be made for going for at least nail 1.
Plus,
Possibly
with
nail
Unbreakable
2 as
Strength
well.
in the shop, I mean, that...
Yeah, makes Sean deliberating. He's going to go for Lem.
Did Sean save Zote? He didn't, right? Because now his Zote is dead.
He hasn't been to Green Path. I don't think Sean really cares starting on the right. Like...
He probably doesn't, but if it comes down to that, I mean, Sean has invalidated that goal, essentially, at this point.
That's true, but it takes a really weird progression of the seed to end up contesting a goal in your opponent's home row as, 12 to 12 final matchup.
Yeah, absolutely it does. I don't disagree with Sean's play, but we could potentially see something.
Yeah, definitely worth commenting on, because that is a risk, Okay, and Sean is making your play. We're gonna get nail 1. I think that when you look at your board as Sean, like, you have a lot of non-HP scaling bosses on your end. Lurian requires Watcher Knights. We mentioned Collector, of course.
First try skip from Muri.
Rando Stenja.
He's checking Glowing Womb.
Alright. This is the check you wanted to see. And he has Gathering Swarm equipped. So we're seeing all of the top level strats out of Muri.
Second try? Well, first try I watched, so...
Okay, and I think this is confirmation we're going to see Soul Sanctum. As Sean does not quit out.
Muri, don't die in this arena.
That's sad. These are regular Aspens. Surprisingly, regular Aspens are immune to spikes for some reason, but... all the same.
There's wings!
Oh! Well, that's exactly the scenario we were talking about, right? Like, that can be a forced spike tunnel, with Crystal Heart now being in one of the 2 wings blocked locations. But yeah, that could be really huge. That's definitely a movement advantage.
And Wraiths was at Thorns, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Progression at Thorns. Called it.
Shock. Shock. Who would have ever expected a race to be decided by progression at Thorns?
We might need to fix the the rando logic.
No, I think it's exactly what I said before, Thorns was entered 3 times as likely as the other items to get something. Mm-hmm. So of course it got something. And Glowing Womb would have been quadruple after they found Wraiths.
I just find it funny. I've made it part of my routine checks to go to Thorns, as soon as I can, because every time I have, there's been something good there.
You can rest assured I have too after the event. Yeah, it's what they say about all randomizers is, you only forget something once.
That's true. I still remember my first ever randomizer. I forgot Spore Shroom for about 3.5 hours. Went back, and that's where Dreamnail was.
I remember the first time the 2 of us raced. What was it? You never found Claw at Glowing Womb, and that was how I came back from this horrible deficit against you. Like, a lot of these one-offs are really easy to forget if you don't have what you need the first time you visit them. And I really like this out of Muri, immediately going for the location opened by wings. You can actually check everything in Upper Crystal Peaks right now.
Yeah, I love this play for Crystal Peaks as well, just in general, because now with wings he can check everything.
Yeah. If he would just do the D-boost here, it would be so easy.
Or just, you know, dash first instead of using wings first.
Yes, that would also help.
Okay.
Fortunately, he has claw, so he doesn't have to have any kind of precision for it, but... Alright. Geo on one end, and Great Slash on the other. The worst nail art, bar none.
Really? You think it's worse than Dash Slash?
They're close, especially after Dash Slash lost its magic door opening powers.
Well, that makes it the best if you're going to include that.
That being said, there's still situations where the range of Dash Slash is useful. It's like Great Slash barely has better range than a normal nail attack. I really rarely find it to be any use.
I think the biggest benefit of Great Slash is its protective arc, because it makes a huge arc around your player.
True. It's very similar to Arkham Pride in that sense, where it has this huge, like, basically twice your height sort of umbrella. Yeah, the range-altering stuff typically has a much bigger effect on how wide your attack is and rather than how long it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dive.
Huh.
Vanilla dive.
Never would have expected to find that there.
Well, that
Well,
does
that's-
open up 4 checks for Sean. Almost
Yep.
4 checks. He can't quite yet get D-Dark, but...
Right. He could if he finds Wraiths, correct?
Yes.
Yep, so there's that. There's Quick Slash, of course. And, oh no. I'm blanking.
The Crypts.
Oh, yeah, the 2 in Resting Grounds, of course. Ooh, a very impressive fake dive out of Sean. I don't know how to fake dive, so I always find fake dives impressive.
Nobody knows how to fake dive because it's random.
True, true.
Oh, that's right. Muri can't check this.
Did Muri skip Crystal Heart?
No, it looks like he's going to end with that. Nice deflection there.
This is an interesting strat. Don't think that's the best enemy to be farming for Solon, but you never know. I guess because he stopped halfway through here, he kind of had to.
Yeah, true. You don't want to risk dying here in the last Crushers.
Yeah.
Wow, there's
Oh.
Dreamwielder.
Wow. Utterly unobtainable for Muri, but that could be a real pain for Sean. Because without Wings or Crystal Heart, who knows when he ever visits this area. 2 Soul Warriors could help him justify making the trip. But
I doubt we'll see that, though, because with Soulmaster in reserve, I mean, he doesn't really have an incentive to get another one in the middle of the board right now. So unless
Right,
Muri
and-
takes Soulmaster, I don't see him coming here for a very long time.
And he didn't open City Storage just now, which means that revisiting Soul Sanctum will take a decently long time.
He's checking Lurian, or Watcher Knights.
Not a bad idea. He has to do this eventually anyways, for his Umbro. He has Dive and Nail 1, so this isn't a hard fight, per se.
Important to note that Sean still hasn't found Shaman Stone yet. So that'll make this fight a little bit longer. I mean, Dive makes it free, but...
Shaman Stone was Soul Catcher?
Yes. But Dive being middle of the road in terms of damage scaling with Shaman Stone.
Yeah, it's not super exceptional, not like VS triples are for this fight, where like without Shaman Stone the hitbox doesn't even let you really get them.
Alright, Muri has spent 4,000.
Alright, that puts him on the board. It's funny because Muri found Dreamwielder, which Sean wants, but Sean found Isma's Tear, which Muri really wants. It could be a really long time before Muri goes to Kingdom's Edge. She has no reason to go there.
That's absolutely one of those checks you can forget about easily, even though it's very accessible.
Like, the 10 goals on his side, none of them synergize with it. I don't think. Thorns.
Worth it.
Alright, now we have to see the very legendary Devout Skip with Thorns I've heard about.
Oh, he's gonna kill 6 different Devouts.
Murius?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems reasonable. Very doable with Claw. And Wings, let alone.
Plus it synergizes with Colosseum Zote.
3 Grubs and Waterways.
Yep.
Requires Drambass. Not to mention... Wait. Shade Cloak was at Mantis Claw?
Yep.
Ah, this sucks for Muri. He might never find that, but he certainly is about to go into Deep Nest without it.
Well, we have a Balder kill item now again for Muri.
Oh, that's a bust. Don't think a Elegy Balder Shell check is really in the cards for Muri at this point.
Imagine if he just bailed on this and went right there.
And that was Dreammail, of course.
Oh my god. That would be the true modlog play.
That actually, the Balder kill locations have been super logic buffed in this seed because Balder kill was the very last progression item. That would be something. To be fair, it's kind of rare to not find a single one in, like, not only Sphere 0, but also Sphere 1. I guess we decided that, yeah, Dash might not have been our first progression item. It probably could have been Claw.
I think we can almost say definitively, though, that Glowing Womb was intended progression for this. So Dash and Claw into Wraiths into Glowing Womb is what the randomizer did.
Right, and Balder kill seems to have been thrown in intermediate as an intermediary after Claw was assigned. So who knows where that fits in? It could be anywhere without knowing what's in Balder Shell. Interesting though, Sean following Muri into Fungal. We'll see if he's gonna go for yeah, heading into Deep Nest by the looks of it.
Interesting. What do you think he's going for here?
Let's see. Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Like,
I don't think there's a goal down here that he's going for. Maybe he's just doing the checks and then gonna check Sharp Shadow because he can.
Not a bad idea, especially if Sean is comfortable with the Dark Room to Weaver song.
Nope, just checking this.
Just checking this. I feel like that if you're gonna come this far, you should at least check Sharp Shadow, just because Sharp Shadow is so much more likely than Sports Room to have progression.
I agree,
like,
and it's not that far away from where he was.
Yeah, like if you want to find Crystal Heart or Dreammail, you check Sharp Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of interesting too, I just thought of this. That Fluke Marm goal in column 3 could be awkward for Muri if Sean ends up claiming Soulmaster.
That's true. Unless the other dive is easily accessible, he might not go get that.
Right.
But, I mean,
Exactly.
Sean still has to mark it first, which may be a while.
Right, of course. But there's no obvious way in which Sean would disclose that he has dive other than taking Fluke Farm. So, yeah, Muri might just never know.
Right.
I agree with Chad. What the fuck did Muri buy Quick Slash for?
He never used it, and now he's not even wearing it anymore.
the ultimate riddle. It's like he slept on Shaman Stone at first, but once he had Wraiths, yeah, Wraith Shaman Stone over Quick Slash. That's the way. Probably is generally better, but still. Alright, and Sean doing the Mantis Swords check. Good density, not very logic favored, but you know, you're here, you have Claw, you do this check. That's just how it is.
He also hasn't checked Dashmaster yet, right? So he's gonna get 3 checks out of this trip.
True. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that in Sean's position, it's really hard to rush for a Collector, even knowing that's the goal you have access to.
Because regardless, you're gonna need something else for victory, right? Like,
right, and like you're not feeling super threatened by Muri at the moment. Like, you know, yeah, Muri can get to bouts, but yeah, that's a long goal in a late-ish kind of area. What are really the odds that Muri kills all the devouts and clears Soul Sanctum before Sean finds any of the items he needs?
this is kind of like a really weird rando and board combination, because there's not, I don't know, in a lot of seeds when you get Claw and Dash, you're immediately incentivized to go and get goals for about an hour. But that's just not the case on this board, like, at all.
Right. Like, Claw and Dash is your typical vanilla move combo, and it's really effective at reaching almost the entire span of the game. But we have a lot of the goals here, which are static, but blocked by those odd movement items. Crystal Heart is Mystere, and of course, and Wings too. Actually, I didn't think about that before, but Muri has access to this huge snipe, potentially. If he can get something in column 3, he can follow that up with Stagnus.
Yeah, which is very quick goal.
Really painful for Sean.
Oof.
Garbage.
Not playing out yet.
Lords. You know, like I said before, Mantis Lords not typically favored by logic. It can have stuff for sure, but it's just a little less likely than these other locations we've been talking about, like the dive block spots, the Sharp Shadow, and so on.
Interesting too that we haven't seen Sean do the really quick checks in Resting Grounds.
Yeah, those 2 dive locations, I think you really got to do those. I mean, we had a claw block dive. That says a lot right there.
I haven't been keeping track of how many Devouts Muri's killed.
I think he's done 3, I'm tempted to say. I'm sure our trackers are on top of it.
I got you.
Oh yeah, I forgot, but Muri can check this with Wings. Yeah, it's Sean who couldn't check it. Yep. Weaver's Jest being another really good item.
Not today, though.
Not today. I mean, it was progression. It was just one of the worst progression items in the game. So you win some, you lose some. Now we're just a cyclone slash away, though.
Oh, man.
From that Dream Nail at Nail Master's Glory with Dream Gate at Dream Gate.
That would be sick. Like
that would be the memeiest item placement imaginable, I think. I don't think it gets worse than that. I don't think it's plausible for the runners for one of them to finish a card without Dream Nail either.
Probably not.
Yeah, because
I mean, how many Dream Nail lock goals do we have?
Both runners have 2 Dream Nail lock goals in their home row. So as long as they do a reasonable amount of clearing, and Muri getting murdered by a Devout.
7. We have 7 Dream Nail lock goals.
Yeah, I think the home rows are the most important thing here, because like without without being able to open up new lines, you are really limited.
Oh, I missed the Dream Trees. Yep, 8 goals.
8. Wow. Yeah, this is a rough seed for Dream Nail at Dream Gate to turn on. Or I guess Dream Gate at Dream Gate, really. But personally, I kind of doubt that it's going to be at Nail Masters. I'm going to guess it's at Isma's right now. That is my guess I'm putting in.
We won't see Isma's for a long time.
No, definitely not. Muri has access to it, actually. Sean does not.
Well, Sean knows where access is.
Does he?
Isma's tier.
Oh yes, he has tier. I forgot. Yeah. Really easy access, actually, if he gets Tram Pass.
So that's 4 Devouts now, I believe, for Muri.
4 or 5.
5?
I think he killed
Okay.
the one in the middle and the one on top. Because, yeah, if he's killed all of them, then he should be up to 5 now. Just missing either one in Beast Den or the one in the bottom of this room right now.
I think you probably just grab one up in Beast Den and then stag out.
Yeah. It's so long to drop to the bottom of Midwife's room and climb back up. Especially in this case where you have the ability to go up into Beast Den through the shortcut and kill the pogoable one.
With shortcut access, there's no reason not to do this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while Muri's making progress towards this, we're just seeing some of Sean retracing Muri's steps. So,
not a huge fan of Green Path at this stage, where like Sean has these new progression items he's found, but he isn't using them. I will forgive it if he checks Shape of Un, and goes back to Dash Slash to get his Mystere and all. Oh, he's not even going into Green Path, actually. Or, I guess he already had the stag?
Yep, so he's just going straight to the stag.
That makes sense.
Man, Wings being buried at Glowing Womb is...
It's so weird,
It's
right?
weird.
Like,
it's really weird.
I don't think I would ever do the Spike Tunnel with Wraiths, personally.
It's not fun.
It's just not something I'm comfortable with. I do Spike Tunnels when I have Vengeful Spirit and I don't have Dive, and that's just about it.
Vengeful Spirit is a lot more bearable in the spike tunnels, because with the reason Wraith is so weird is because you need to cast up and then immediately pogo right afterwards, so you're, you know, top to bottom on your controls.
Right, and it's a little easier for Muri, but if you're like Sean and you also have dive, then it can be kind of awkward to, you know, not dive into the floor. That's my opinion, at least. Probably a bit easier for someone like you who's used to using Dash Master and vanilla and stuff like that.
Dash Master spike skips are my favorite. They're so fun.
You play without fixed Dash Master too, right?
Yeah,
Or
I
do you
hate
use
fixed
it?
Dash Master. It ruins down dashing throughout the game. It really does. And when you're used to the normal controls anyway, there's really no reason to use it.
Look, see, I always thought it was sad that I found the really cool Shade Skip Dismas tier without Crystal Heart or Wings. But then I could never do it because I couldn't do the Spike Tunnel beforehand with only Dash Master. Yeah, I had the idea of making a meme category out of that once.
You and your
it did
meme
not
categories.
happen. It did not happen. I spent like an hour on the Spike Tunnel and got nowhere. That right one is no joke.
Sean buying Lantern. What's his plan here? Is he going Deep Nest?
Deep Nest would be weird right now.
Green Path.
Green Path.
Why? Maybe he's
Joni's.
gonna get Balder and then go up to Joni's.
That's what I'm thinking. That's 2 items we won't have seen yet, as a matter of fact.
Right. Plus, with Dive, he can leave Joni's pretty easily, too, through that shortcut.
Yep. Definitely an option. Personally, I always just check Cyclone first, even if I'm coming up from the bottom. I don't think it's more than maybe 20 seconds slower, and it's much safer. Obviously, when you have Lantern, safety isn't even a concern.
Even without Lantern, if I have Dive, I'll go Joni's first.
Yeah, I'm just not comfortable with doing the Dark Room backwards. It's not a hard Dark Room, though, for sure. And there's Dead Zone on Sean's side. Confirmed, Sean is a monster.
Muri's going Soul Sanctum.
Yeah, I mean, he has every reason to do this. He can mark Soul Master.
Yeah, absolutely.
And right afterwards, you know, open city storerooms to go get Stag Nest.
Yeah, this could be that big snipe you were talking about before.
Yeah, no reason to conceal Wings. As a matter of fact, in Muri's position, like, you think that marking Stag Nest is great because it'll send Sean into a useless Soul Sanctum check. Oh, not useless, but Dream Shield at Balder Shell. I feel like that there's an axe joke to be made about this. Our memes are collapsing upon themselves.
I still would like to see Sean do some more dive block checks at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's been at the Stag Station this whole time. Still hasn't checked those 2 Resting Grounds items, which I think it's a pretty clear bet that the Resting Ground items are more likely than the Howling Cliffs items to have progression. Like, Claw was at Sly. This stuff has been in Logic since the beginning of the game.
Right. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him go there after this.
Yep, and who knows, maybe Joni's is gonna have Dream Nail and we'll look like fools. But or maybe Soul Eater will have Dream Nail and
We'll be vindicated.
you know, it'll all even out. And maybe Dream Nail's that great slash and burn.
Joni's Darkroom is annoying no matter what you have.
Yeah, there's no items which really make it better or worse. Like, I think it's honestly about as difficult with no items as it is with claw, wings, etc. And it's worth noting it is completely passable in both directions.
Boulder Shell didn't make it very far.
Wow, all Sean needs now is Spore Shroom. And he'll have collected them all. It's never on the card when you want it, though.
I find that rings true for the quick focus, deep focus goal for me. I always find those two really quickly when it's not on the board, and never find it when they are. This is really dangerous now for Muri.
Doesn't have the nail upgrades, and he dashes into a mistake.
Nice wordplay there.
Poor Muri. Gathering Swarm was not the play. I'm just gonna say it. You know, I said before I liked Gathering Swarm for those two checks, not the Soul Warrior charm, really.
Stop ruining our fun, Monster.
Oh yeah, Muri has Hive Blood. He has so many better charms to be equipping. Of course, I'm kind of well known for liking Hive Blood. I would definitely be using it over Quick Flash in this position.
I probably would too. You have 2-1. Why does he have Dream Wielder on?
A great mystery. Same for Gathering Swarm, frankly. Like, Long Nail would be better, I think. Like, Quick Slash Long Nail actually makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, Hive Blood really makes Soul Warrior, in particular, a lot easier. You basically can't heal during that fight, but it's easy to stall him out for 12 seconds.
Hive Blood is actually... I think Hive Blood gets better the more practiced and experienced you are, because, you know, speedrunners tend to be better at fights in general, so random damage you take or whatever is not as punishing.
Right, the big thing about Hive Blood is simply knowing how to lay off pressure from... Already we're getting shown up by the first item in the Catacombs. So, like, for most boss fights, I think, as a speedrunner, you're fairly comfortable with laying off pressure and just taking it slow for a few seconds, and that's a lot easier than stopping and focusing, where you have to actually find a safe spot. Alright, VS, that opens up... Well, he already had Spike Tunnels, but...
Opens up nothing.
Yep, still nice to find. Never unhappy about VS, really, but... Yeah, not a real difference maker for Sean, really.
I mean, it would be... He already has Dive, which is great for ground-based enemies, but in Muri's position, VS would be fantastic here for this Soul Warrior.
Yeah, Wraiths is really awkward for almost any grounded enemy. The only ones which it's really any good against, in my opinion, are like Trader Lord and Hollow Knight.
It can be really useful against the Watcher Knights too. But...
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. The Watcher Knights have a really good hitbox for it.
It is really awkward to use though, unless you're used to it, because you essentially need to stand right next to your enemy and cast it.
Yeah, it's important to know like where you can stand and where they won't, like what patterns will allow you to stand there.
Nail.
Grub Song for the win. I always forget Grub Song. So kudos for Sean for remembering. That's enormous.
Yeah, Sean's just been searching for things for forever.
Yeah, it finally paid out. And it goes to show that all of our talk about regression logic and so on and so forth was completely for naught in this seed.
Yeah.
It was a pure claw blocked item, which had it all. And yeah, this is going to be pretty fast now, I think. Yuri's not going to have any clue where Dreamnail is. Sean just has the ability to tear through this seed at this point.
But Muri has a much better board advantage right now.
And wings.
And wings.
So, it's not over, for sure. I'm not sure, though, that Muri can win without eventually checking Grubsong. That's my thought, at least. I think that's going to be required.
It most likely will. I mean, eight Dreamnail goals is a lot.
Sean could be about to find Dreambuilder, which... if... oh, well, Muri is probably going to mark it.
Yep.
It'll be kind of close, because Sean won't have to tech Deep Focus, but... wait. Sean will check that before Crystal Heart. This could be really close. So soft lock at Crystal Heart.
Depends on what he chooses to do here. Not having wings might be his saving grace. Ooh, you can't go here, Sean.
No! This isn't even remotely possible.
Sean forgetting that there's an enormous gap at the very end of this room.
Like, seriously, if this were possible with Fireball, Skips, and Dash, it would be trivial with wings.
And this is the oh shit moment right here. Yep. And he has to save quit too, or else he would have died.
Well, that was just a complete and utter brain fart by Sean, which cost him a home goal. That's gonna really suck.
I don't think he would have got it anyway, but it completely eliminated any chance he had of getting it.
Yeah, he had the chance of rushing just and maybe beating Yuri out, but it would have been really tight.
And there's 2 goals for Muri.
Yep, 5-1. Sean has a huge item advantage, knowing where both Dreamnail and his Mystere are, but Yuri has the board position in spades. With 5 grubs too, Muri is not doing terribly.
I think we're seeing Sean get Lurien now.
That makes sense. And of course he still has Soulmaster.
He needs to get out of his home row though.
Yeah.
Badly.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I thought Lurien was in column 4 for some reason. That's my bad. Like, this is where it's... I think personally it's coming back to bite him not going for a column 4 goal. It's like, you keep on doing checks and thinking, well, the next thing will be Crystal Heart, but... yeah, the longer you do that, the more power you concede to your opponent.
I think at this point it makes sense to go Collector. Because he found Dreamnail.
Like, in my opinion, Collector, Soulmaster, Monomon is Mystere. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I'm just thinking to get out of his home row. At least for now, and get some board presence.
Just to column 3 at least.
Yeah.
But I think you really have to have a view on how you want to snipe his Mystere, knowing that, you know, Muri won't delay dash slash forever. Probably. Yeah, Monomon are Waterway Scrubs, I think.
It's still important to note that Muri doesn't have dive. He did not complete the entire Soul Sanctum check. He only stopped at the Soul Warrior and then went back.
Yeah, that's definitely worth noting. Still can't kill Baldurs, for that matter. Or at least not with the charms he has equipped. So he doesn't check Baldur Shell here.
Sean has revealed he's found Dreamnail now.
It's interesting. I don't think it's a real dangerous play an hour and a half in, but
I think it's great to mark it right away because as your opponent, you start to freak out a little bit that your opponent's found Dreamnail and you haven't.
You like the psychological warfare of it?
I do. I mean, that's kind of what you did to me in our race.
I was actually about to say, that was kind of what I was going for in our last race. Like, not only did I did I find Dream Nail, but I told you immediately, before even marking 0. But of course, also, I knew based off of where Dream Nail was that screwed. Yeah, sometimes you just know that it's a place where you can't keep your opponent from going there. You find Dream Nail at Shade Cloak, you feel great. You find Dream Nail at Dash Slash, you think, well, that might buy me 20 minutes, but that's not buying me an hour.
I think Grub Song is one of those checks that you can feel good about because while it's very easy to get, it's very easy to forget about.
I would feel really great about Grub Song, especially if I could snipe 3 grubs in waterways, so my opponent isn't even thinking about grubs anymore.
Right.
So maybe I would even go for that over Monomon in Sean's position.
Plus it's faster, I think. You don't have to worry about Umu.
With Tram Pass? I don't know. You have to clear a lot of waterways to get that.
Yeah.
I think there's arguments for both. You definitely get more item checks in with 3 grubs.
It is kind of preference at that point. I would absolutely prefer to do grubs over Monomon, but...
Is Muri doing an elegy kill?
Yep.
Oh. Muri, no. Don't. I'm so disappointed by everything. Baldur's Shell just is never a priority enough to me that I would check it without VS or 5.
I can understand what he's, you know, he's trying to just find something now.
Knowing that Dream Nail probably isn't super late, I guess that makes sense, but you have so many better checks like Kingdom's Edge and the rest of Sanctum. Places where Sean's more likely to have found something. Also, why did Sean just walk past Dash Slash?
I don't know.
Help.
Does he not have enough Geo?
He has 1300.
So he does have enough. Did he just forget what's there?
That would really be bad.
Maybe he doesn't want the goal in reserve right now?
Maybe, but...
That'd be the only thing I could think of.
But he's going to need Isma's Tear in order to get, like, anything. He needs it for Collector, he needs it for the column 2 goals, he needs it for the column 1 goal.
I could understand that he would want to mark Soulmaster before he does this, because if he finds the second copy of Shriek, then he would just lose it. He would lose that connecting goal.
True. I see.
So in this scenario, I guess it makes sense, like, find something else or clear your reserve and then go back and get it, because it's not crazy far away.
I feel like I would sort of be tempted to gamble on it. You're losing, what, like 20 to 30 seconds? And he isn't going back for tier, actually, so he may have just forgotten.
I'd like to think I have a little more faith in Sean than that, but...
Oh, I'm just saying, I don't see why you leave it. Oh, he's going for Markov? Another home row goal? And Markov's gonna be kind of annoying with Nail 1. He's what, like 500 HP now?
Yeah, this will be tough.
He has the worst health scaling by far. I know that. The Shape of Un not powering up your damage here.
I can understand the thought process here, though. Like, you found Dream Nail, you know you have an advantage there. So try and get as many Dream Nail goals done as you can.
What was 500 Essence? It was some kind of garbage, I think.
Yeah, what was 500? I don't remember. Weaver Song.
Oh, yeah. Not relevant at this point.
And he's dead. Interesting. We're seeing Great Slash check from Muri.
Great Slash. Yo. Still could definitely have Crystal Heart. Crystal Heart's the only skill we're looking for, right? So I guess we want to find Crystal Heart, Joni, and Spell Twister, and Shriek.
Spell Twister was at Sly's Key, I believe.
Oh, I must have missed that then. So, just Joni's, Shriek, and Crystal Heart then. I think Crystal Heart has a good chance of being here. It's somewhere late because Wings was in lot. It's an unused progression item. Probably.
Oh, Dive!
Dive?
Interesting.
Well, we know the dive was mostly useless. Sean's probably going to check the last location now. Or after the rest of this, at least. Or no, he'll have to choose between Crystal Heart and D-Dark. He's gotta be so angry though when he sees where Dreamwielder is. And knows how far ahead of him Muri was.
Muri's still equipping Dreamwielder.
And Gathering Swarm. Like, what are these builds from either side? I can forgive the meme build done. But Muri's build is just bad. Like, if you're gonna meme it up, like, equip Steady Body over Dreamwielder.
Gotta go quick slash steady body, right? The ultimate Reddit build.
Well, we don't have Stalwart Shell yet. With Stalwart Shell and Steady Body, it would be... I think Muri would be unstoppable. Muri forgetting to get Soul.
I've done that a fair number of times.
It's definitely easy to do that. Well, Muri did some weird clipping there for a second. I don't know if he was actually inside the wall, but those, I don't know what they're called. Those enemies have really weird collision behavior. A lot like the Devouts, but without the edges.
Well, Sean knows now that Muri's been here.
This would be a great justification to go back for D-Dark instead of Heart. But he's gonna finish it. This is gonna be his Great Slash, right?
I believe so. I think this is the proper order to do it in anyway, because you could always just get to D-Dark from Crossroads pretty easily.
I think it's the same distance with whichever one you choose because of the shortcut, but you're right, it's not a big deal. Like, once you already concede to having it up, basically the same.
Right. Muri, heading in the right direction, though.
And getting grubs.
Oh,
He's
it's
up to
long
8.
nail. It's Crystal Heart.
Okay, never mind. This is definitely salvageable for Sean as long as he uses his Dream Nail lead. He's about to lose his tier lead, though, and that's going to be devastating. I think he needed to capitalize on it. So like I said, you find something at Dash Lab, you think this buys me 20 or 30 at best. You don't think I can count on Muri not finding this for the next hour. You won't get that lucky. It's like Muri can mark tier immediately. He'll probably start working on 3 grubs and waterways.
Yeah, and he's already got Tram Pass, so getting over there to do that is pretty quick.
Yeah. Actually, he can just save quit and do this immediately if he wants to.
I think I would. I wouldn't even check Great Slash.
Great Slash.
Or, Quick Slash.
Quick Slash, yeah.
The other item that's out here. He's gonna check it, though.
Yeah, it's hard to come back here if you orphan it now. And, like, Muri thinks that his dive is ultra unique and that Sean has no chance of finding it, right? So...
That is true.
Like, he thinks this is a huge advantage he has, not knowing that the other dive was free at Soulmaster. Shaman has been found, it's sad.
Sean taking a second attempt here at Markov.
Round 2. He's not any better equipped than last time. He definitely can equip Lifeblood. I don't know why he doesn't do that at least.
I hate this fight so much.
Yeah, Markoth. I think he's one of the coolest looking Dream Builders, but he's awful. He really is.
Mine.
And he's in an awful location. Like, I really wish Team Terry could have been a little more thoughtful how terrible they made full clearing Kingdom damage. With, like, the Shade Cloak blocked Markoth fight, the dive blocked Quick Slash. There's just literally no good way to route.
Unless you know skips, but yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
The double jump blocked. Oh, damn it.
Another great charm would be Hive Blood. Markoth being one of those bosses, really hard to focus on, really easy to just lay off, stay far away, and dodge the flying nails. But yeah, what do you think it does psychologically?
Sean's only using 2 of his 6 charm slots right now.
He has 6?
Yeah, he has 6 notches and he's only using 2.
What on earth? He could have Hive Blood. Seriously, he could have Long Nail, Joni's Lifeblood Heart. He could have Dream Shield for the ultimate Markoth.
Oh.
But yeah, I definitely think it has to come anxiety, knowing Yuri's was in the same area, got this spear, which Sean had as an advantage for so long. That's rough. And if Muri is able to build a second line, it's going to be really hard for Sean to come.
This is over now. This is over. Muri's checking Grub Song.
Oh, well, yeah, the Dream Nail advantage is dead. I think Muri. Is Sean giving up?
Yeah, he's giving up on Markoth.
But what do you do, even?
Looks like he's gonna go get tier now that it won't go in reserve.
That's not the logic I would have used, but okay. See, now I would be really concerned about trying to go for any teams, knowing that that Muri can be working on them at the same time. Like, Monomon into Marmu is a really strong play for Muri right now, even.
I think you almost have to do Collector if you're Sean at this point.
Yeah, he can't hope that Crystal Heart is going to show up. Muri pausing for a moment. Probably trying to decide which column 2 goal to go for, I think.
Yeah, this is like the awkward part of Rando Bingo, where you found a lot of stuff, so now you just need to decide how to route the goals out.
Right, and I think that moment was Muri thinking, holy shit, I can do Monomon now. But do I want to do Monomon? Is Monomon safe? And then, I gotta do Monomon.
Huh, Sean's going Hornet too. Setting up an Abyss check out of this.
I think it makes sense, right? Like, he's just panicked at this point, but
yeah, I think Sean's tilted and panicked and everything now.
Yeah, he has to find Crystal Heart. He has 2 goals blocked by it. Oh, don't skip the bench. You're tilted. At least heal before the fight. Come on. You'll heal, right? I don't think he's going to heal.
Alright.
Okay, whatever.
And the charm notches in Rando just to clear this up, because I see it being discussed in chat. That is, you get those as soon as you reach the requirement that Salubra sells them at. And the reason we implemented that was to provide some more interesting charm builds, because before, for Rando, I mean, it's never worth it to go back and buy notches, like, ever.
Right. You're going to get like 5 notches above the cheapest Libra notch and the fungal-based one.
Right. So by just giving them to the players automatically once they find random items, it allows players to actually use the charms in the game. Because otherwise, yeah, they were just never going to get them, and you'd be stuck at 3 notches basically forever.
Right. So, and charms aren't super overpowered for the most part.
Right.
Like,
so this just makes it more fun.
Yeah, the worst you can really get is like stacking the charms, and you know, if you get all of them at the start of the siege, like, who's to stop you from having fun?
Muri failing like 3 true nails in a row.
Yeah, the 15 damage in this cycle, really not doing it for me, I have to admit.
At this pace, Sean might actually catch back up.
Yeah, the 20 cycle in mill. Yeah, it could be a thing. I definitely did not expect Sean to beat his boss first, I will admit. When I watched both of them going in, I thought, wow, Hornet 2 is definitely worse than Umu.
Sean does have nail 1 still, though.
That's true. Muri is kind of under-equipped on the damage side. Though he does have Shaman.
So the big question is, will Sean go to Abyss immediately?
I feel like I'm not a huge fan of this Abyss play. I feel like it's just digging the hole deeper. Like, even if he finds Crystal Heart, it's not going to give him a clear path. That being said, I guess if you commit to it, definitely if you get Kingsbrand, you immediately go to Abyss, in my opinion. Like, don't do things halfway. If you're gonna start this, finish it.
Yeah, he's already invested enough time in this, just absolutely, just go and finish it. Unlock this collector shortcut on the way out, and then go Abyss.
Because at this rate, you know, if you're Sean, you have to look at the card and think every goal is up for grabs. I can't give up anything once my opponent has a now 7 goal lead. Or
except
is Muri going to
Zote.
Yes. 8 goal lead, actually, effectively. I guess Muri is going to conceal Monomon.
We know there's no point to conceal this, but he doesn't know that.
Well, he knows Sean is the
that's
only
true.
Dream
He
Nail,
knows he has
so
Dream Nail, so there's no reason to do this.
his concern might be to not give this away until he can kill Zero, out of concern that Sean might have a quick and easy column 4 goal.
That's a good
that
point.
He just hasn't marked yet. It's like you mark Monomon and Zero. So yeah, Muri will be able to get this off. Will be effectively, or 9-2 lead rather. Yeah, finals is best of 3 with 1 game spot afforded to the winner of winner's bracket, basically.
Yep, still double elimination tournament, so
Yep.
winner's bracket winner would have to lose twice.
Yep, it's the best way to reward someone for going to the winner's bracket. Basically, they get the advantage of having to do, I think, 1 or 2 fewer matches, and the advantage in the final series.
Gonna see a Shape of Uncheck here from Sean.
It could be something. I mean, we have this tier. We haven't checked any of the items behind it. The 2 items behind it, rather. Interesting to see.
Sean kills the Aluba.
Killing the Aluba. I was gonna say, interesting to see Muri collecting. Basically useless in this seed. But you don't always think about that sort of thing.
Collect what? You cut out right then.
Oh, I said it's interesting to see him collect. Basically useless in this seed, but you don't always remember that. Yeah, there's no essence goals. Oh, I guess Revik, actually. I'm sorry. I forgot about that.
Shade Soul. Helpful, but not really needed.
Alright, time to do Markoth again.
God damn it. If he goes back there now.
Surely he would do Abyss first, right? Surely.
You would hope, anyway.
Is Muri gonna go for Collector? Or is this Marmu? Well, it could be both even. We'll see.
Plus, you can throw a Dream Tree in there, too.
True. Definitely not 3 grubs. He doesn't have Crystal Heart to get the top grub in Queen's Gardens.
There's Spell Twister. Yep, that's Sly's Key. It's been there.
He doesn't have the goal yet, though, because he hasn't checked. And he isn't going to Soul Catcher. This is rough.
It's just interesting that this goal is available for Muri, and he hasn't got it.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? Well, has Muri checked the key?
Oh yeah, because he's got the Soul Sanctum key.
He did Soul Sanctum. He did the two Soul Warriors. Weird. And this appears to be Abyss. Interesting that Waterways has been just completely off the radar. Indeed. You know, not saying that Waterways is a good play at all, but you know, definitely the kind of situation where you have to consider if Crystal Heart is in Waterways, how long am I going to spend searching for the column 4 goal and just not finding any? The kind of thing which pushes you to do a static goal.
Interesting choice here. Sean's going to attempt this spike skip to get to Isma's.
I have gone on the record saying I find this right tunnel really hard. That's really impressive to me. Great job by Sean.
That's probably the most difficult spike tunnel to get through in the game.
By far, I would say. Like, barring the ones which aren't possible. Alright, what is it?
This is Crystal Heart. I shit my pants. Nope.
No way. It's Spore Shroom. This was the logical Baldur kill access. Calling it now.
Yep.
Sean didn't kill the grub, or free the grub, rather, and he can't get up this way. Have to say, not the best play, really. I think not saving the grub is basically conceding defeat to me. I don't know. It's saying that you can't imagine how you would get to column 2 at this point. Oh, that could be melodramatic, though. Like, you could always just get it coming from the dram entry.
Yeah, that's not really out of character for you, so...
Being melodramatic?
Yep.
No, not at all. Yeah, Sean's not out of it, but he has a very heavy bar to lift at this point.
He needs to find Crystal Heart, really, to come back into this race.
He needs more than just Crystal Heart, though.
Yeah, he does. He needs plus some snipes.
You know what he really needs? He needs Muri to not bench before Mario. That would help Sean, I think.
Can you imagine dying to Marmu, though?
You know, I almost died to Marmu in Morris, so I don't think I'm entitled to it. And you know what? I didn't bench before Marmu. And so when I had 1 HP, I was not very happy. Marmu wasn't either, because Marmu had only 15 HP, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, the cool thing about this Marmu play is it's going to give Muri enough essence to do Revic whenever he wants to.
Doesn't he already have enough?
I don't believe he does. I think he just has 100.
You're right, he just has 0. I thought he'd done another Soul Warrior, but nope. Just done 0, and that's it.
Yep. Obviously, Failed Champ is available as another goal, but it's not going to be a priority with only levels.
Yeah.
Skipping the grub.
That's curious.
He can just buy the stag station anyway. You know? Not to mention he has...
No way, Sean! Holy shit! That's what he needed.
Do you even finish? Like, what could you find that would even be worth it? Wings, I guess? He knows Wings can't be here.
Joni's Blessing?
Oh, yes. He needs to find Joni's. And in his mind, Shaman too.
True.
Yep, that is a really good find.
That's so huge, because Muri's not going to go there.
Yeah, Muri is never getting Crystal Heart. So he's never getting 3 grubs and Queen's grubs either. But that's it. That's the only thing that Crystal Heart is good for. The movement speed increase isn't, I mean, it's nice, but it's not overwhelming. Alright, so this puts us 9-4. So, if you're Sean in this position, what do you rush first?
3 grubs and waterways, I think you gotta go for.
3 grubs. Without
really
even
tough.
having Tram Pass, though.
Not picking up the egg? Interesting.
At this point, LM trip would be too costly.
That's probably true, but he also only has 56 Geo.
True, he needs to get... No, he does. Does he need to spend Geo on anything else? Spell Twister, I guess. No, he bought Spell Twister. And he can't do Colosseum, so he doesn't need to spend Geo on that.
Muri at 1 parry so far.
I think you go for Failed Champ, personally. He has Shade Soul too, so it's not awful, especially if he equips Spell Twister.
Muri dies on the last parry.
Okay. This is Sean's build. No, he's dropping the meme charm. I respect the Dream Wielder.
Yes, the goal specifically says parry Revic 3 times without dying, so if you die, it resets. Oh, Sean. Sean, you're right there.
Next to Monarch Wings, you mean?
Yes, with Crystal Heart.
Is Monarch Wings gonna help him, though? I don't know if it even pays for itself.
Probably not, but it makes moving a little bit faster. But yeah, you're probably right. It doesn't even make sense to do it.
Like, it's definitely something you want, but it's not something you can afford. Well, regardless, Sean cannot afford to die to failed champion. Shade Soul doubles definitely do more than raids.
I'm not sure if Sean's familiar with that. Can you even get doubles without Shaman on?
Yeah. Failed champ is huge. Like, you can get, because you can get triples on him so easily, doubles aren't hard either.
Oh,
you just
Muri's heading there too.
This is the kind of thing Sean needs.
Yeah.
Is, Muri getting distracted, going after the same goals as
Nail 1 absolutely going to help out Sean here too.
Yeah, and if Muri isn't checking Bingo Sync, he might finish this fight after Sean finishes. And lose even more time that way.
Sean's done. Just has to wait for the end now.
Okay, remember, one cast won't be enough to...
Oh, Muri saw it right away.
That's unfortunate. If they had just been a little closer, Muri might have been too incredible. Sean not checking, well, he can't check it actually, I'm sorry. Can't check Soul Catcher from this side anymore.
Yeah, that's right, it's blocked off now by the infection. Since he killed Lurian.
Yep, so... what is Muri going for? Dream Trees, maybe?
Oh, does he know Twister's here? Does he remember?
He must.
Oh, he didn't.
Oh,
he went
what?
right past it.
You're
didn't
kidding.
see it.
You're kidding. Oh, can he mark? Can he even mark it though? Yes, he can.
He can totally mark it.
And he can't mark Fluke Farm, so that key is useless. Like, he literally has to enter Waterway anyways. And he could just come through the spike tunnel.
Okay, well, it's pretty safe to say that Muri will never be marking that goal because he has no clue where it is.
And Sean probably won't be marking it either, since Soul Catcher has had a billion chances to check it by now. So, now Coliseum Zote and Spell Twister, Shaman Stone are completely off the table. Our runners have killed those goals, I think.
See, Muri has no more incentive to go back to Sly and buy anything. So,
yeah, like he's practically clean slide at this point.
Amazing. If it comes down to that...
I mean, that would be hilarious if it came down to that. That is true. Muri effectively has a lot. Because of Coliseum Zote.
You cut out there a little bit, but I'm assuming you're saying he has a free goal.
Yeah, I said he effectively has goals. So, he only needs 2 more to lock in a win. Yeah, easiest path by far is 3 grubs and waterways into Fluke Farm. And Sean isn't even contesting that at the moment.
Yeah, even if Sean went and rushed 3 grubs and waterways right now, there's no way he would be able to get to it first.
No.
Since he doesn't have Tram Pass.
Right, this is the downside of staying in your home. to, like, obviously anything he would have done just delayed finding Crystal Heart and Waterways, but it just really hurts 2 hours in to
Oh yeah,
not
you're
have
right. He
made
can't mark it anyway, but
any progress on this collector. Like, he's starting from nothing.
yeah, all of Zote's death triggers are known, including the weird room-based ones, so allowing Zote to die, if that happens to you, is your fault. You cannot just start over.
Yeah, basically, the one big thing is going to Lem early, which Sean chose to do.
Yep. I guess you also can't do Soul Sanctum checks in that case, but if you can do Soul Sanctum checks, you can save Zote, so...
Yeah, for sure. Claw or Wings allows you into Green Path. So, any Deep Nest or, left City of Tears access, certainly enough to get there.
Alright, that's Flukmarm in reserve from Muri. There's Joni's Blessing. Sean's never getting that.
Nope. I think a big part of the problem, I'm not going to say all of it, but Sean spent a lot of time in Green Path and Fungal, checking all of the items in those areas. And, like, sure, those are great item-dense areas, but those don't synergize at all with the goals Sean ultimately needed to get. Like Fluke Farm, Queen's Gardens, and so on. If he had done more Deep Nest-oriented checks or Waterways checks, this stuff would be a bit more attainable in the endgame.
It's really tough in general, I think, for Sean, because he was just so stuck in his home row for a long time, but I mean, the counter argument to that was that he really wasn't stuck in his home row because he had access to Collector for an hour.
Right, he put all his eggs in one basket, and what happens with that is that, one item can be anywhere, and you have to live with wherever that one item ended up, whether that's, whether it's in Green Path or in Abyss. Sean chose a strategy which wins half the time, and he got the wrong half.
Yeah, that's the tough part about going after random goals, is, it's random.
Right, and it's kind of the situation where you feel like your loss is kind of out of your control, because, like, we can all agree, Sean definitely did get screwed by the randomizer. Like, on average, Crystal Heart is not that bad. At the same time, he chose a strategy which allowed him to be screwed by the This is the same way in our race. I chose a strategy going for Dreamnail the entire race, which made it really easy for me to get screwed by a Dreamnail at Shadow. That's just what happens.
Mm-hmm. That's what I enjoy a lot, though, about these kind of races. Like, wow, Vanilla Defender's Crest. Incredible.
But yeah, you choose whether you live or die by.
And sometimes it works out for you and you sweep the board and it's amazing, and other times you get screwed by it. So it's like, it's all risk reward, right? Like, there's plays you can make on static goals that mitigate that risk but might take a little bit longer. And
right, and like we were talking about earlier, Collector, despite being a static goal, it's an incredibly risky goal to go for compared to the randomized Crystal Heart goal. Like, you're sinking in a lot of time, a lot of geo, into a really difficult goal that doesn't open the board up that much.
Right.
But might give the incremental progress you need to not be in a even deeper hole an hour later in the seed.
Sean having a really difficult time here. This is the last grub he needs for this goal.
Yep. This
God.
showcases the worst of Queen's Gardens, really. It doesn't get worse in this room.
Oh damn, those two Petras. Oh, and he gets double hit again. Just go heal.
Not having wings is hurting him so much here.
Hey, there we go. Now this is quote-unquote free.
Alright, Sean, about to get his 6th goal. Probably his last goal, since Muri is... No, not his last goal. Muri won't win with this, but he will lock up the win. Be interesting to see whether Sean tells Muri he's won, though. Or if he chooses to play it out to see if he can even it out to 12-12.
Does Sean go Fluke Marm? If he snipes that...
I think Sean will try to, but there's no way he makes it. Muri's only missing 1 grub.
Yeah, but what if Muri dies to the pufferfish in here?
You're right. Why did I not consider that possibility? Muri? Let's lay off on the Geonodes a little bit. Now I'm just waiting for Muri to actually die too.
That would be the biggest meme ever.
It would actually be kind of tense if you were doing this with Dad, but as it is, I think he's going to be just on. Sean doing a nice spike tunnel. As Muri goes up 12-6.
I'm not sure if Sean realizes yet that he can't win.
No, that's why I was saying it'll be interesting. Sean tells Muri. Yeah, Sean may not fully realize. He isn't locked out of any goals by the seems, at least, aside from it itself. Is this a Markoth play? Sean goes and gets revenge on Markoth, and then finally admits to Muri that it's over.
Could also be going Collector too, and into Markoth.
Oh yeah, he got the love key, didn't he? I forgot.
Yeah, Sean could make this interesting, but he can never win now. And Muri can't lose, I don't think.
Well, there could be something really... No, because of the change we made to the reserve rule, I don't think it's even possible for Muri to lock himself out of Colosseum, so no matter how idiotically he were to play this.
He could... Yeah, no, he can't. No, he could do Dream Trees and then do Lifeblood Heart, Johnny's Blessing, and Markoth and lose one.
Yeah, he could definitely still lock himself. But, if he were to get Colosseum Soda as a 3rd goal, we would forcibly mark it. Yeah. According to the rule revision. So basically, Sean's best bet here is to come back by 6 goals and so forcefully demoralize Muri that Muri forfeits 12-12.
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, Muri always has the option to resign, I guess, but... I guess with Muri moving and not gonna have internet for like 2 weeks.
I mean, he may, right? Like Muri did say that. Well, Siplax also can't do any matches, so I'm not sure it makes a big difference.
Is Siplax out for like 2 weeks too?
I thought Siplax said that, yeah.
Maybe he is.
So
I don't know.
we may just see that that half bracket stall for a little while.
Yeah, we'll
Actually,
see.
don't have too many matches left. After this one, Muri is going to advance to, I believe, loser semis.
Yep, versus Siplax.
Not quite. No, not quite.
Yeah,
Round
not
4.
quite, because loser of my match is the
Right,
losers finals.
Because we have a strange number, there's actually going to be a one final round 5 match before losers finals. Yeah, just 6 matches left in the tournament. It's come a long ways.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
3 months. A little over 3 months so far. Looks like Muri's going for Colo's out, so it's just a matter of time at this point.
Yep. This is, of course, the perfect choice. The one goal Sean cannot possibly snipe. Muri probably feels pretty comfortable, too, that no matter how Sean is trying to stage a comeback, he won't start with this goal.
Right.
And, like, in an alternate timeline where he did say, like, he would be, his strategy right now would be to hope that Muri easy goals and that he just snipes Muri on each one.
Right.
I don't think this Kalo will be too terribly difficult for Muri. He does have Shaman Stone and all 3 spells, so under-equipped relative to the base game, but not super difficult.
Plus, you can always stall out during this as well and heal up on an enemy.
Yeah, especially with Dream Nail, but just in general.
Yep. So,
Alright, Sean's Revenge.
I'm gonna go ahead and mark this match down.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe.
So it's looking like 13 for Muri and 8 for Sean. Assuming he kills Markov.
Yeah, so assuming he doesn't give up on Mark, which I can't imagine. Is there any other goal he could get? Probably not. He might get Dream Trees.
Dream Trees, maybe. But I can always edit it later.
Yep. Yeah, I think 13 to 8 is a safe bet. The next match will be in about 3.5 hours. Between Pestilent Box 3 and me.
There's the Markov kill.
Well, 3rd try's the charm, right? Or is that 4th try?
That was 4, I think?
I mean, Markov's definitely not an easy fight. That was the decider for you versus Mage, wasn't it? In group stage?
Yes and no. The decider was that I never found Claw, and he did. Muri just
Oh! Muri, no! No! Sean's gonna die this. Is this where Sean remembers to go check Soulcatcher finally? I mean, stranger things have happened, and I have no idea what he could check at this point.
Looks like he might be.
Or he might be going for Dream Trees, but
He might be doing both, because there's, you know,
Yeah.
that Dream Tree in the mound as well.
Yeah, it's a little on the long side, but it's a convenient location. Yeah, the Crossroads Dream Tree is great. Right next to the Stagonal. More annoying after infecting more, but not much to be done about that.
I mean, Sean could even just open up his mod log at this point, because no amount of knowing where items are is going to help him win. Remember what we said early on? That's Zote, leaving him to die.
Yeah, it can come back to haunt you. Of course, Muri would have to die in Kalo like 3 more times, but...
Yeah. And Muri doing all this with possibly the worst side on the board, too, which is, you know...
Very impressive, yeah.
Very much so. Sean missed some on the bottom left of this room.
Yeah, that's the one right underneath the green path entrance. A really annoying one, since you can't get back up without wings. Oh, no, that's actually not the one I was thinking of. Okay, this is finally the Soul Catcher check. Sean will instantly mark this goal, except he can't, because he doesn't have Jonies, and he's never getting Jonies.
Where was Jonies again? I don't remember.
Luke.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Luke?
You can just picture the look on his face there. Like, really? This is where it was?
And also, how on earth did Muri not mark it?
I don't know, yeah.
Like, this has to be flabbergasting, Sean, that he thinks that neither of them ever checked Soul Catcher. He can't comprehend the possibility that Muri did all fly-key stuff and had Shaman Stone the whole time. I can't comprehend that.
Oh, yeah, Sean needs to do this weird little pogo up here. Because he doesn't have wings.
Yeah. Fortunately, the Vengefly is super cooperative. Nail 1 won't be an issue.
Well, hopefully Muri doesn't die again.
That would be unfortunate.
Oh my god, he just did.
Great job, Nick. Alright, so basically for every Muri gem, Sean gets an extra Dream Tree worth of time. This is unfortunate. I really did think that this was the optimal play for Muri to go for, and now he's giving up on it.
No, the optimal play is to buy Spell Twister.
Well, yes, but we have to recognize our own.
He gave up? What? Okay.
So what does Muri go for then? Abyss Shriek?
Maybe he remembered that he saw Spell Twister at Sly.
Or no, he can't mark Lifeblood Heart Blessing, even though even though he knows it's a Leg Eater. What is Sean doing? Oh, doing the Fog Canyon tree, I guess.
Is Muri seriously quitting out of Call of 1 to go upgrade his nail?
You know, sometimes you just have to do things.
You don't even have enough damage for this. Or enough geo for this.
Well, he has relics, right? He could go get the
Yeah, he
Pale
does
Ore
have
even.
relics.
He's getting the Pale Ore even.
Oh,
Muri is leaving nothing to chance.
not
Muri.
something I
I'm
expected
sorry.
to see today.
I have been corrected by chat. His name is Muri.
It's Muri?
No. But someone said I was saying Muri.
I say it like that a little bit.
I think I would normally say it more like Muri, but I kind of
I put the
copied
little
what you
"ya"
said.
in front of it. Muri.
Yeah.
He's actually gonna get nailed too. Amazing.
Yeah, maybe he'll get Fragile Strength too. I mean, it's an option. So where is Abyss Streak, do you think?
I have no idea.
What have we not even checked?
Nailmaster's
D-Dark?
Glory. D-Dark.
Nailmaster's Glory. We checked everything in Green Path, right?
Yes. Yeah. Everything in Green Path has been checked. Everything in Fungal. Everything in Deep Nest. We haven't checked Sharp Shadow.
Yeah, Sharp Shadow's missing.
Or Wings. Or Hive Blood.
Wings and Hive Blood, yeah. Okay, so there's actually a few places still to check.
Yeah, we schedule each game for 3 hours max. Which I think we've only had like 1 or 2 that have gone over 3 hours. Most are done in about 2.
Even
2.5.
this one shouldn't end up hitting 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it's been drawn out a little bit, but Nail 2 was definitely going to be decisive. I refuse to believe he can lose Kala 1 with Nail 2. I refuse.
If he dies again with this, can we kick him from the tournament?
Just award the win to Sean. You don't get to mark the Coliseum goal with 4 Coliseum deaths.
Sean got a 9th goal.
Alright. He's bringing this back.
I guess I'll update their final score to 13-9.
He just... All he needs now is to check Waterways. He'll make it 11. I don't think he's going to check Waterways, but he's so close.
What is he getting here? Is he really
Geo?
getting Weaver Song? Okay.
He must have forgotten what it was. Just like we did.
No, Sean did not save Zote, so he cannot win. It is basically a formality at this point that Muri has won. We're just waiting for Muri to get to 13.
Yes, because...
Or to resign.
he is having some difficulty. So, like, the way I see this play out is, like, he goes back to Coliseum feeling all confident with his Nail 2, then immediately dies in the first wave, while Sean finds Abyss Streak and Chonies, and then that's how he forfeits.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like
Sean's about to get wings, so
amazing.
you'll get your wish.
The hardest skip ever, using Crystal Heart through here.
Well, it's just like Deep Focus, right? Speedrunners can't do it the entire way.
Real talk
Literally
though, that stupid laser
impossible.
cycle right in the middle is the worst.
I mean, that laser cycle is freakishly long. I don't know what they were thinking with that one, really. Because as a casual, I would feel like there's something wrong with this. Why hasn't it become something I can work with by now? Maybe they just expected you to hit this, so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They probably expected you to pogo on the lasers themselves and then make it across.
Yeah, with wings, right?
Exactly.
Nice, Sean.
Hey, you found wings.
Unfortunately, with Crystal Heart, that opens actually for him.
Is he going deep nest now? He must be.
Could get us Shriek, of course.
All right, Muri, round 3. Let's do it this time.
Now, of course, he's gonna check Sharp Shadow last.
Okay, Sean going into Queen's Garden again?
He's probably just gonna clear Deep Nest left to right. It's not a terrible idea. This should be about the same speed, I think. Maybe a little faster since he's already done the arenas.
Would have really been fast if he'd gotten the stag there.
True. Oh, interesting. He's using the shortcut here.
It's not something you see very often, actually.
No, I've never seen this kind of routing, but I really like it. It's just virtually impossible to embed it into an efficient run, since it necessarily means revisiting the area.
Yeah, and revisits are slow.
Exactly. Especially Queen's Garden revisits.
Oh, yeah. There's not much even here, like, to revisit.
Exactly, there's almost no reason to come back. Biggest reason would be for Trader Lord, not for going down into Deep Nest. Muri still getting wrecked by Primal Acids.
Nice Steam notifications, Muri.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not much to talk about really at this point. It's kind of what's happening is going to happen, and it's going to take a little bit of time.
Only really interesting thing left is where Abyss Shriek is, and it really could be anywhere. It's an unused progression item. Our best chance of finding it, of course, is Sharp Shadow. I don't even think Sean will get to anything else we haven't checked yet.
Probably not. He's still going to take a little bit of time to get out of Deep Nest.
Yeah,
by that time, Muri should be done.
Unless we find Cyclone at Sharp Shadow and he save quits back to Dirtmouth. That would be some closure.
Muri, don't you die again.
Muri's gonna die again. Nope. He seems to have mastered the pogo.
He must be thinking that Sean is trying to do this at the same time or something.
Because, like, Sean could absolutely snipe this if he wanted to.
Yeah.
In fact, this is Sean's last static goal, so in a situation where Sean had saved it, he would be absolutely rushing this. Because this is his win condition. It was like beating Muri in a randomized goal race. Which he might actually win, considering Muri will never find Spell Twister. I hate that Sean isn't checking Sharp Shadow, though. I don't think we're going to see it now, because he's not going to get back there in time.
We'll have to ask one of them to pull up the mod log for it, I guess.
I'll go ahead and pull it up now. Or start pulling it up, rather.
Yep, Sean's not going to check it. Too
I
bad.
wonder if he just forgot. It can be easy to not remember that Sharp Shadow is an option.
It's a bit weird to get to when you come in from the left side.
That too, for sure.
Alright, this race is almost over. Zote tumbles around in the air.
Well, I have found where it was in the mod log.
Oh boy.
And Sean was correct to go get Trampass.
Is it Hive Blood?
It sure is.
No way. Alright, well that's GG. Sean still hasn't realized that they're done, I guess?
Yeah. Oh no, he just realized.
Okay, he got it now.
Yep. Hey, Mary.
Hey. Sorry.
That was a great performance in the Coliseum.
Little trouble there.
Oh my god. It's... Yeah. I was not trained for the Colosseum.
You know, as you went in there, I said he has all 3 spells of Shaman Stone, so he can't possibly lose this now. So I want to apologize for that.
That was so bad. Oh my god. But so was Zoe dead for Sean?
Yep.
He was. Sean rushed him early.
Oh, yeah. That's mainly why I didn't go for anything early. I wanted to at least get Vengeful King before spending 4 kg or getting to City of Tears. But yeah, I was pretty. I think I was pretty lucky with checks. Like I didn't have to do Fungal Waste. Fungal Waste at all. So that was pretty convenient for me.
So did you forget where Spell Twister was?
Oh yeah, I don't know where it is.
It's in Sly's shop.
Okay, I didn't pay attention.
We were very impressed when you bought the simple key for Fruit Farm and scrolled past Spell Twister.
It was in at the shopkeeper's key.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you saw it at least twice.
Yeah, I saw it twice. I just completely forgot. That is dumb.
It's too bad that we got to a scenario where Sean killed Zote, because if he had taken that goal, you would have never found Spell Twister ever.
Yeah, probably. Maybe I would have. Yeah, I would have gone to the abyss. Probably. Oh my god, no! Yeah, that was really bad. I knew something like that would happen, but I didn't know it would be that soon. Oh my god. Glad Zod was dead then. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with my routing. I think it was pretty okay. And let the if you cut the end.
Yeah, just cut out the Coliseum deaths, all those.
You had very
The
strong
Colosseum
routing,
there.
actually.
Mhm.
Getting the early Monarch wings was,
Yeah.
I think, really huge to how you snowballed this.
Yeah. At first, I was like, okay, it's pretty well hidden, so he might not find it. But then, I went to Crystal Peaks and I found Dreamwilder, and I was like, okay, I have in my hands something really good for a snipe. And then everything was about finding how would be able to snipe them. So I don't know why. What did he check for so long?
I mean, Sean checked just about everything he could
Yep.
get to.
Oof.
Crystal Heart was at Abyss Shriek. And
Crystal Heart was that? What the fuck? Really?
he
So
basically
when in
staged his whole race on finding that, and he got
oof.
randed.
Oh, Stagnus vessel fragment was such a big advantage, but
It wouldn't have
I
mattered.
mean,
He didn't find wings
yeah,
until the last like 2 minutes. So
yeah, but like Spell Twister was behind Shopkeeper's Key. Stagnus vessel fragment was behind Wings, which were behind Glowing Womb.
Oh yeah,
Maybe they were like easier to check than going into the abyss, but I don't know.
also worth noting that Sean did not check Soulcatcher until the last 5 minutes either.
yep.
So he did not have Shaman Stone.
Oh, okay, understand. Okay, yeah, I've decided to go to do an early shops because we had a lot of geos and like I failed the drop in King's Pass, so I knew I was behind anyway. So if there was something behind either the chest or VS, I was definitely not getting it, so I decided to just go to the shops instead. And then there was Mantis Glow behind, not behind, but at Slice shop, so I could like check Soulcatcher right away. Yeah, that was very convenient for me. That was my main source of damage throughout the race.
Oh, speaking of main sources of damage, we were very intrigued by your decision to make 500 Geo Quick Slash and then not
Yeah,
equip it.
Or never really
I
use
equip
it.
it right away, and then I stopped equipping it because I had spells, and I think Shaman Stone is better. It's better DPS than Quick Slash. I don't know. And then, like for a very long time, I had Crabberfly Elegy. That was because I wanted to check Balder Shell, and at first I wanted to get the Devouts, then use Deepness Tag to go to Green Path, then check Balder Shell, get the Stagnus Vessel Fragment in reserve, and then kill two Soul Warriors. And then I thought, nah, I, I like more rushing two Soul Warriors and then getting Stagnus Vessel Fragment. And that's why I had it for the longest time. That was very dumb. That I won't say that it cost me the death in Soul Sanctum, which was really dumb, by the way. But yeah, that was so dumb to equip it. I should have I had like 2 or 3 benches after like changing my mind, and I just didn't think about changing the charms.
Yeah, definitely. I think a better loadout could have prevented the Soul Warrior death, but that's
Yeah.
that's an awkward fight, anyways. With only wraiths for sure.
Yeah, I was on the verge of dying the second time as well. I don't know why I have so much problems with that fight. Well, so I won again, so I will have to like schedule another match, but I don't know when it is. I'm facing Simplex, right?
Simplex, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he said he was like away for 2 weeks.
I think
So I
that's
think
correct.
We might just
yeah,
take
it's
next
pretty
week off
convenient.
anyway because of next week is Easter, I think, right?
Yeah, right.
So we might just take that off anyway. But
yep, we're narrowing down now, so we don't have as many matches to cram in.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, now I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna pack everything. to move. Like, so I'm right now on the desk, and so when as soon as I quit the stream, I will like dismantle the very desk on which I'm I'm actually running right now.
I could just
So,
picture
yeah.
Muri in an apartment by himself with only this desk left in it.
No, it's not that extreme, but it's a little bit extreme, yeah.
Well, good luck with your moving. Congratulations on advancing.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll try to train a little bit more fights with Naya Zero. I think it's because in my latest races, I was loaded with the spares, or I had to get either fragile strength or, you know, that kind of thing. So for the first time, I had like normal spares, and Naya Zero, it didn't end well, but I just needed a little bit of practice. So yeah, thanks for streaming it. Thanks. I don't know if people were watching, but I guess they were. And yeah, see on the other side when I have internet again.
All right. See ya.
Sounds good.
See ya.
See you later.
All right.
All right. I just left Timothée on his own. Bye. Okay. Well, that does it for this race. The next race coming up will be Timothée versus Pest. Pestilent Box 2. So yeah. And with that race, actually, I believe the one we just had, Sean was the last member of Group B. So it is only Group A members remaining now. Kind of interesting. Anyway, that next match will be coming up in about 3 hours from right now. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. I think that is the last one we have scheduled for this weekend right now. So maybe we'll get me versus Mage, but I'm not planning on scheduling that until a couple weeks because Losers Bracket kind of needs to catch up at least a couple matches to get there. So yeah, 3 hours from now, Timothée versus Pest. You'll want to watch that match. It should be pretty entertaining. So until then, we will see you guys later.